Something that made you blush and feel giddy. Story 1. You look beautiful. No, ma'am, handsome. Say handsome. I didn't mind it one bit. She was so sweet. Story 2. My wife calls me a beautiful specimen. It always makes me laugh because it sounds like I am some science project. Story 3. If I were single, I would date you. She is now single and strangely has not brought it up again. Story 4. I used to wear a lot of really loud shirts that had many hidden details. One group of ladies was always fascinated with those shirts and often said something nice about the shirts and socks I chose. Story 5. I've put on a little extra weight in the last couple of years. The other day at work, a guy made a joke about it. Nothing horrible, though. A female coworker next to me shrugged and said, I think it looks good. I would still find you attractive. A little brash, but it did make me feel better about my new dad belly. Story 6. Did you lose weight? You look really good. A woman customer at my job said this. I have been trying to lose weight, and she noticed my progress. Her friendly compliment made my whole week. Years ago, I remember helping an elderly woman customer at my job. After I helped her, she said, You're such a helpful young man, very handsome too. That made me smile and brighten my whole day. I was having a bad day, and she made it better. Story 7. A woman once said, I like your shirt. And that was the one and only time I have ever received a compliment from a complete stranger. It made my day. Story 8. I had someone tell me that she liked how well I write. If I knew that writing well would attract women, I would have been more interested in English class in high school. Story 9. I changed my hairstyle and many female coworkers complimented me, saying things like, It really suits you, and you look so much younger. About 3 or 4 weeks later, one coworker said, Every time I see you, I can't help thinking how much your hairstyle suits you and how good you look. That comment has stuck firmly in my mind. Story 10. I used to ride my bicycle to work most of the year. I wore bike shorts. I was decently fit. A younger female colleague said, as I was unlocking my bicycle, Nice bum. Where are you from? The words came out before she could catch herself. She apologized. I smiled and accepted the compliment. That was 10 years ago. I still recall it. Story 11. An older Asian woman said I was handsome once, and it honestly changed a lot about how I felt about myself. It was like a decade ago and such a sincere comment. While our moms, aunts, and grannies tell us, it hits so much differently than compliments from strangers. Even more so, older Asian women are brutally honest, so any compliment from them is just insanely genuine. Story 12. I have heard you have beautiful hands from acquaintances and occasional strangers. I love your penis from a couple of partners. That is always nice. Story 13. I know you are not going to try anything. To me, that's them telling me they feel safe around me and that I do not give off creepy or bad vibes. Story 14. A coworker told me a few weeks ago that I have a nice facial profile. She is also a part-time model, so it made my day. Story 15. I was talking to a woman and her boyfriend when she said, completely out of the blue, that I had pretty eyelashes. Another time, I was just minding my own business when a little girl around 10 years old approached me, called me handsome, then immediately ran away giggling. These are the 2 compliments I received that were both small and uncommon. I think other compliments were either fairly common or not small at all. Story 16. There is one example I can think of. When I was a commander, I had a soldier who needed financial help, so I was in frequent contact with the Human Resources Department of the military. I also always took care of soldiers who were not under my command if their commanders were unhelpful or ineffective. The soldier from Human Resources once called me fatherly. I had never been called that before or since, and it made me happy. It became awkward when she showed romantic interest in me afterward. Story 17. That I'm a good storyteller and funny as well. She also told me that no one can be bored around me. That meant a lot to me, not gonna lie. Story 18. You make me feel safe. I didn't understand the weight of it initially, but that is probably the best compliment I have received. We are coming up on our 5-month wedding anniversary this May. Story 19. I used to work with two men who both had the most gorgeous blue eyes. When they came to my office or attended meetings, I would compliment their eyes. They would look at each other and then at me, and I swear their eyes would twinkle. It was fun for me too. Story 20. My favorite moment was when a girl rubbed my hair and said, "You have very soft hair." She then chased me around the dorms and we became intimate. Story 21. I am a woman and I compliment the men I know around me frequently. Got a new haircut? That really suits your face. I love that color jacket. The way you're wearing that hat is awesome. You have a beautiful smile. I feel that after they get to know me, they understand I am a friendly person and that I am genuinely nice. I have never had someone misunderstand my compliment as a come on unless it was truly meant to be a pass, and those are very obvious coming from me. I notice that the more I compliment others, the more they compliment me in return. It is nice. Men and women, the people around me are kind to each other. Story 22. I was once told I have perfect eyebrows by a cashier at Northern Tools. I still think about that brief interaction with her. Story 23. My mother tells me each time someone in her retirement home says I am very handsome. I have no idea how to interpret secondhand comments from elderly people, but I will assume there is at least something sincere in them. Story 24. You are too handsome, my wife told me. I did not even know that too handsome was a thing. I also never thought of myself as handsome, let alone too handsome. Story 25. I used to compliment men all the time, but then they took it as hitting on them, so I no longer do it. Story 26. Black women are the best when they feel like putting it out there. Gay men are actually the best at compliments. When white women flirt, they do not. They just exist in the same room or bar and avoid looking at you. Infuriating. Black women? Last night, I was with my friend at his neighborhood bar where I was the only white man. One woman turned in her chair, looked me up and down, tilted her head, did a little vertical finger wag gesture, and just said, okay. Then we ended up talking and laughing for a while. I did not take her home, but the ice was broken and she did it well. You see, white women, a look can work, but you need a lot more with it. Story 27. Two of the best compliments I received from my wife are that she said we are a perfect fit sexually and that she likes my body. She does not give a lot of compliments, but as a man, you take them when you can. These are two specific areas we tend to be concerned about for some reason. Story 28. You have really nice canine teeth. I don't know if this girl had a vampire fetish, but I'll take it. I love your dimples. This one felt good. You have really pretty eyes. Melted. Story 29. Outside of family, I receive almost no compliments. I have lost track of when a woman outside of my family last complimented me. On the other hand, I remember how a male trainer at my gym complimented my squatting technique exactly 64 days ago at around 9:28 in the evening. Story 30. Clean face skin, colleague from work who is my age. Beautiful eyes, friend, you are beautiful, cashier my age in Africa. Happy you were so big, while hugging me when I was lying on top of her, female partner. And one other time a friend said I had beautiful eyes 10 years ago. One friend wanted to touch me as I was undressing my pullover and accidentally semi-undressed my t-shirt as well. Story 31. One message from my girlfriend said, "You are okay." Being someone who always sees myself as worthless, even being told I am okay means the world to me. Story 32. In my 7th grade year, a girl complimented my eyebrows. In my freshman year, a girl said I have pretty eyes. Also, in my freshman year, a girl turned around and said straight to my face that I was sexy. I said she was sexy too and moved on. I missed that hint, and I will forever kick myself for it. Story 33. I very rarely receive compliments on anything, even from my wife, so when I do get one, I am usually really happy. Story 34. You have a beautiful smile, a random older lady said. That was it, but it was such a simple compliment that I have never received before or since. Story 35. I have rugged looks. Not rugged good looks or a good-looking rugged guy, but rugged looks. I think she meant it as a compliment. Story 36. About 10 years ago, a girl in an airport randomly told me she loved my Gryffindor t-shirt. It had not occurred to me until now that half the t-shirts I own are Gryffindor themed, along with 2 hoodies. Story 37. 3 weeks ago, a woman noticed I went to the barber. She said it looked good on me. The previous compliment was years ago. Story 38. Me. One round of sex drains as much energy from a man as running 1,000 meters. Girlfriend. Oh really? Then you should try out for the Olympics. Me? Girlfriend. If you're finishing 1,000 meters in just 2 minutes, that's a new Olympic record. Story 39. When my hair used to be longer, an older lady said my hair made me a sex symbol, whatever that meant, but it made me smile. Story 40. Most common. You smell nice. I have a pretty good base cologne that people seem to like, so I hear that one here and there. Most unique. I love how you vibe and move your head when listening to a song you like. I was with a girl in a car, listening to a song I don't quite recall, but I know that I really liked it. She started to genuinely smile and said that to me. Apparently, she liked my music taste. Story 41. I have had a girl from the Los Angeles area tell me she liked my hands. To this day, I do not know how to accept this. Story 42. You make roller skating look so easy, is something I hear at the rink fairly often as I take a break, dripping in sweat. Then I rarely see the person again. Story 43. How I dress. My sense of humor. My attention to detail. How I support others when needed and my kindness to others. My baking skills. My physique. Story 44. Once at work a few years ago, a customer said, I have a perfect face. I did not know how to respond to that. Story 45. I feel good when men compliment my beard. When a woman compliments it, that is the most subtle hint that can be given. Story 46. One time, a woman told me I have a calm energy. I did not expect that. It is those small, unexpected compliments that hit differently. What is the most unique compliment you have received? Story 47. A girl passed me a note in lecture on Wednesday telling me she was proud of my art skills because she saw me doodling. Story 48. Barista said she liked my shirt a couple of days ago. After thanking her, I tripped, caught myself, then tried to open the door the wrong way. But it is okay. I managed to escape eventually. Story 49. I was told twice in the past few months that I look like Rafe Cameron from Outer Banks when he has a buzz cut. Honestly, it made my day. The second girl who told me was giggling so hard. It was really sweet. Story 50. You're easy on the eyes. A coworker I used to work with when I was a barista said this to me. This was 6 years ago, and I have never forgotten it. It was a Tuesday morning shift just after the early rush. It made my heart melt. Susie, wherever you are, thank you. I hope you are doing well. Story 51. My girlfriend compliments me all the time. In fact, I have probably received more compliments from her than from all of my previous partners combined. Story 52. I rarely receive compliments about my appearance, although I was once called a tall drink of water by a cute stranger. And I still think about that all the time. I was already married, so I just blushed and stammered a thank you. I work in customer service and regularly receive compliments about how kind, friendly, and helpful I am. This only works if you are kind, friendly, or helpful. For any guys out there who claim to never receive compliments, perhaps take this into consideration. Story 53. Someone came to talk to me today after she saw me from the other side of a fairly large crowd. That's me happy for about 6 months. Story 54. I only received a compliment from a woman once, back in high school. 2 women accidentally called me cute in the hallway after I unintentionally got their attention by listening to music on my headphones and snapping my fingers to the beat. I quickly scurried away in embarrassment. Story 55. I do not know what comments are common. I have heard everything from, do you know you are the sexiest person here tonight? And, do you want to have sex with me? To positive comments on my body parts and personality. The one thing that would surprise me from any woman or man is to receive compliments for saying something witty or clever. That would raise my confidence. Story 56. You have such gentle eyes. I don't know why, but my God, that made me as red as a tomato. Granted, it is also one of the only compliments I have received from a woman. When guys compliment me, it is usually nice dick, bro. My friends and I have a very interesting relationship. Story 57. I rarely get compliments in daily life, regardless of whether they are from men or women. Sometimes a colleague will say something about a jacket or a t-shirt I am wearing. Whenever I receive that rare compliment, I become giddy and cannot stop smiling for the rest of the day or even the next. It does not matter if it is, "You are dressed nicely today," usually from a woman, or "I like your beard," usually from a man. I am still giddy. Story 58. I love your appearance. I work out sometimes, so it is kind of tight. However, I am insecure and laugh it off, but she is serious. Story 59. Only with partners and dates rather than friends, but every one of them has said how safe I make them feel. It is quite a nice compliment that makes me feel good about myself. Story 60. Back when I was younger, I was working at a client's house. During a conversation with her, she squeezed my bicep. I never said anything, nor did she, but the memory lingers decades later. Story 61. I went to the mall with a girl I like, and she told me my Spanish is very beautiful. It sounds perfect when I speak. Story 62. I have been called a gentle giant on numerous occasions. I am not sure if it is actually a compliment or not, but it does not usually feel like an insult. Story 63. I never received uncommon compliments, but one cashier said I am cute. I regret not asking for his number because he was also very cute. He was the first guy to ever call me cute. Story 64. Not a verbal compliment, but I was quite popular at a formal school event some time ago. Several girls asked me to take a picture with them. Maybe it is my poor self-image, but this only became clear later. I did, in fact, blush and become giddy because they not only tolerated but also sought out my presence in their photos. Story 65. Compliments about my physical attributes? Several girlfriends have said they are jealous of my eyelashes. Non-physical compliments? I frequently get complimented on how calm and patient I am even in stressful situations. I have received this from coworkers as well as girlfriends. From girlfriends, it is usually expressed as feeling safe around me. That always makes me very happy to hear. Story 66. Multiple women have commented on how white my teeth are and how it is a nice contrast to my beard. They also say they are jealous of my eyelashes, eyebrows, and wavy hair when I grow it out. Story 67. This one girl whispered, "You smell nice." It was a nice surprise, and it crosses my mind every now and then. Story 68. I have a unique and beautiful voice. I have vocal problems because I am living with a damaged throat, which affects my voice. I did not know that back then. She genuinely meant the compliment and had no idea why she thought so. It was many years ago, but I remember it as if it just happened. Story 69. Years ago in my 20s, I had an absolutely gorgeous coworker tell me that I looked very nice when I cleaned up and dressed well. She said it kindly and sincerely. As an overweight man who did not really take care of myself at that time, I rarely received compliments like that. I still remember it to this day. Story 70. A couple of weeks ago, I was sent to a wild bird store to buy seed for our feeders in the backyard. The woman working there told me she liked my shirt. It was not anything fancy, just a t-shirt with a line drawing of a pine tree and camping tent. I explained that it was a free item with something I bought online a while ago, and she said, "Well, it is a very nice free item." She probably did not think much of it, but I genuinely cannot remember the last time a stranger complimented me on anything. Story 71. You have great skin. I always get bashful because I don't spend a lot of time on it, so it always catches me off guard. Story 72. I have large fingers. I was at work and made a comment about how large my fingers were to someone. She said, "I bet the ladies love you," and winked. I have never forgotten it, and sometimes I make the joke myself. Story 73. My ex told me recently that I was the most reliable person she knew and that she never doubted me. Touched my oldest son instinct, I guess. But it had always stayed with me until now. Story 74. You look handsome, a bit like my dad. I like how you feel comfortable without being gay. You look like you have a big willy. Yes, the last one is strange. It was said by both my gay and lesbian friends. Story 75. I have received multiple compliments from men about things like my hairstyle, clothes, hats, and so on. The only woman who has ever complimented me is my wife. She is my second, as the first never complimented me even once. This includes my mother, grandmothers, aunts, and sisters. Compliments from women just do not happen, except from my wife. Story 76. You are looking different than last year. I like it. I got it 12 years ago and still remember it. So sad. Story 77. About 2 months ago, a girl sat next to me at a bar and said, "You are gorgeous. That will keep me going for another 10 years. Story 78. You have nice eyes, which is girl talk meaning you are great, but I am not sexually attracted to you at all. Story 79. An elderly woman passing by, using a walker, turned around and looked at me. Is that you wearing perfume? I nodded, and she suddenly lifted with energy I wasn't expecting. It smells absolutely amazing. Story 80. When I was 18 and flirting, a girl said to me, "You really have a men's body," hinting that boys our age don't. I don't know. I'm just tall and try to eat healthy. I'm kind of naturally muscular. I have received compliments about my voice too, how it is deep, comforting, and sexy. Someone even told me I have the perfect voice for the radio. It has been years though because I am not talking to or frequenting anyone. Alone in life like many here. Story 81. Uncommon I heard was, "I respect you." I believe a woman's respect is worth more than when she says she loves you. Story 82. Oh, compliments, I thought you said complaints. Yes, I have plenty of complaints. No compliments. Story 83. I remember I started a new job at Walmart and was going around meeting the other shift mates in my department. My guide walked up to Julia, who was stocking one of the shelves, and introduced me. Julia was a nice older lady who looked like she was just a bit too far from retirement to be happy. She looked up, then looked a little startled and tersely blurted, "Wow, handsome. Well, good luck." I think that's when I realized people must have types and, while I'm not hers, I might be someone's. Story 84. It feels so nice to just be seen with a look by a woman, let alone an actual verbal compliment about my appearance. Any at all is great, but the way a woman looks at me with her eyes sometimes, followed by a smile that could make my whole year, I won't soon forget times like those. It's like saying, "Woman, I see you. If an endless number of things were different, we'd be together right now. Man, I see you too. Thank you for that acknowledgement, that validation of my sexuality." It's not quite the same, but a woman can easily post on social media and receive the same kind of validation a man wants, but men can't easily do that. Men and women want the same thing really, but we have different norms around it. It is what it is. Sorry for a bit of a rant. It was just last week a pretty woman gave me the look, but we both knew that if I tried to make a move in that public place, it would have been wrong in perhaps a dozen different ways. Story 85. The one I get quite often is that apparently my eyes and especially eyelashes are beautiful. Other than that, one of my friends once said I have a great singing voice. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.